to be able to do other things than I was when I went to New York. You know, I'm way better suited. So, you know, the truth is, even though it's scary, I got to believe that all of this stuff that I have, there's a variety of ways to monetize it.
You have these riches.
Yeah.
You're bringing it back with you. That's a really interesting perspective, actually.
And I used to think, no matter what, you know, like I'm one of those people who drives down the street and sees the banner, we're hiring now for firemen. I go, I wonder if they'd hire me for being a fireman.
Yeah.
You know, or, oh, look, there's a waitress wanted. I bet they'd hire me. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. I always think I could get that job.
I do too.
But what was my point about that? I can't remember why.
Your recruitability.
Pardon?
Your recruitability. I mean, you think that still now?
Yeah, I still think that.
So I do the same thing. I think, well, you know, if the worst comes to the worst.
Yeah. I think the worst comes to the worst, I'm the fastest typist on the planet. You can give me whatever. I'll sit over there, I'll type all day, and you'll pay me money. So, you know, I can do that before I drive the Uber car, which is also something that is still available to all of us.
Did you think about that, though, before? I mean, you thought about that on the trip, but did you think about that when you're getting into this?
Well, when I was getting into this, I had lots of money I was sitting on that I wasn't so afraid of spending.
You had the partner.
And I had a partner, and I was going to raise the funds. Now, the partner set me back a year and a lot of money, because it was when we had our ducks in a row to go for money. We'd launched, huge success, everything going great, ready to go out find money. Then she pulls the shenanigans. It took me 5 months to negotiate with her, and pay her, and line up people who give me money to buy her out and that kind of stuff. And then I had to regroup the business and pull in new people, you know, to new designers, new people, new
So that was a year that blew
it blew, yeah, and this is the year that it blew. It blew 2016. Yeah, it blew 2016.
Wow. But here you are.
Yep, here I am.
You're
not
still
dead
alive,
yet. Not
and
dead
you're,
yet. That's my saying.
And you have a really the beginnings of a fantastic business. What are you going to do then about how are you going to get funding?
Well, I'm bringing in new blood to help me find new ways of doing it. I mean, there's still a lot of people. There's a lot of money for cannabis. Question is, it's still a needle in a haystack, because I have a unique. It doesn't matter whether you're having funding. It's competing with hundreds of other things, thousands of other things. So you have to find funding. You have to expose yourself and your product to a lot of people and find the right partner. And it doesn't matter that their pockets are bulging with cash. They don't want to give it to you. They got lots of things to do with it, and they have no idea. They're not planning on handing it over to anybody. And 10,000 to them is as much, sometimes more, to rich people than it is to poor people. So don't just think there's a bunch of money in that pocket and I can siphon some out. It doesn't work like that. It just takes a lot of exposure and people helping you.
And people helping you. I mean, there is a lot of money around at the moment, I think. It's not like...
One of my ex-business partners helping me in the funding realm.
So you've really relied on your network.
Oh, hell yeah. Without that, I'd be dead. And frankly, I wouldn't even want to do it without that.
Right.
Because they keep me alive a lot of the times. You know, they are my support system. I mean, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do all of this stuff myself. I still have somebody doing the product. I still have somebody doing the design. I still have somebody. I have my daughter's helping me with the social. You know, friends give me tables at their conferences, and I'm blessed like that. And I was saying about giving back. I don't think you should, in your entire career, I think you should just give back and just generously help people as much as you can without expecting it to come back. And that's what I did. And I wasn't resentful particularly. I mean, I will admit to wailing a couple times at the moon, why isn't anybody helping me? But it did come back. People did help me, and they were happy to do it, ultimately.
People do. But I think probably, so obviously experience you bring with you, your network you bring with you, but you bring goodwill with you. I
do, and I think goodwill is really important. I don't think that these people would have stuck with me without the goodwill.
So are you loving this?
Sometimes.
But this is pure entrepreneurism. You're in it, you know.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm going to make it a success.
You're quite far along in it.
I know it's going to be successful.
And it's clearly going to be a success, so it's about
It's going to be a success. There's just not a chance in hell that women don't want something nice to
No,
wear in
there's
their
not.
body.
It's not.
Not a chance in
So
hell.
so it really is about the
It's
marketing,
about
yeah.
it's about staying alive and
Yeah.
finding the right partners. That's really what it is.
Has this experience changed you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm well, actually, in a lot of ways, that copywriter changed me because he solidified how I wanted to be and what I wanted to put forward when he interpreted all the things I said to him. And I think a lot of people, as you get older, you care about different things. You care about being nice. You care about having fun. You care about bringing good things into the world. You care about helping people enjoy their lives more. You know, you care about sharing your information with people. You care about seeing people gainfully employed. You know, those kinds of things. And that has all been possible because of that. And he helped me see that when he wrote his stuff.
It's funny, it doesn't take that much, does it? That is,
You just have to be listening.
you have to be listening. You also have to ask the right questions. What do you wish you'd done differently in hindsight? I mean, perhaps chosen a different partner. But
That would have been a good one. Oh gosh, I think there's a million things you can do better and differently in hindsight. Different ways of spending your money, your time.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest problem that entrepreneurs have is, what do we do with our time? What choices do we make every second of the day?
Yeah.
What am I not doing when I'm doing something else?
Mhm.
Right? And
But you're not a time waster.
it's not a.
It's just about where to put your time.
Yeah, it's about the productivity of that time.
Yeah.
And that's what I look back on and go, damn, I wish I would have taken that time and used it over there. But, you know, that's 20/20 hindsight. It's not really worth anything.
No.
I think being focused, and you hear that people give you that advice, and I'm not sure what it means to other people, but I think in my case, confining your vision to as narrow a band as you can is a good idea, because you can be successful within a band and then expand from that band. I tend to want to do everything all at once, and I can't resist some of the bright and shiny objects that get
Yeah, I'm sorry,
dangled in
like
front of
you,
me.
yeah.
And am I sorry for it? Not really, because sometimes those bright and shiny objects pay
Turn out
off
to
big
be,
time.
yeah.
So who knows? You don't know what's going to pay off. And I think if I was going to give myself some advice, it would be don't resent the time that you feel wasn't as productive. You know, that cuts down on your enjoyment of now.
It's funny, I interviewed this guy the other day who's made this unbelievably successful app for actors, and he's a voiceover coach, and he's a mogul. He does this stuff nationally, and he said, there's two kinds of people. There's kinds of people that are curious about everything. It's like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. And he said, and there's people like me who are like, that's where I'm going. These are the steps I go to do.
And those people have more money than we do.
And those people have more money than we do, but I'm glad I'm not them.
I don't know. I see a lot of happy ones.
Yeah, but they just I don't know. I mean,
Well,
but
it's
you
just
are
not
you
how
are
we are.
who you are
Yeah,
who
it's
you
just
are.
not who
yeah.
we are. And we get I get a huge amount of joy from discovery. So
Yes, me too.
you know.
What sort of person do you think would be good at starting a business like this? I don't mean specifically selling marijuana accoutrements. I mean just any kind of business that's sort of related. What qualities do you think you need to succeed? I mean, it's not really e-commerce.
Yes, it is. It's all e-commerce.
It's all e-commerce. Okay. What do you think?
So is that what you're asking?
That's
Is
what
about
I'm
a
asking,
specifically
yeah.
like an e-commerce
Yes.
business? Oh, geez, I'm probably not the right one to ask that. E-commerce is a science, and even though you might know what it is and how it works,
Mm-hmm.
it's got a lot of science and art to it, but and a huge amount of testing. So, I mean, somebody's going to start an e-commerce, but I think that's too narrow because it's about business in general. They all apply to everything. Like e-commerce business to start still takes the right kind of human being, right? Doesn't matter if it's e-commerce or physical commerce or.
Well, bricks and mortar is a little. I think they're not necessarily exactly the same skills. You think they are?
They're still very granular and micro focused. I think to be a successful retailer,
Mm-hmm.
you should be every friggin' cent should matter to you. And I'm not like that. I'm used to having direct deposit of a decent amount of money into my account. I'm not used to going home and counting dollar bills and pennies and dimes and depositing them in the bank. And I don't enjoy it very much. And retailers, the most successful retailers, look at every single cent that they have, and how they're spending it, and every cent that they're spending and every cent they're bringing in and correlating the two. And that's a successful e-commerce retail person. I have such people on my team because I know I'm not like that. But that's one of the things I'd say. You better be better be a nickel and dimer. Because you're selling little pieces of things, but you can sell e-commerce. You can sell. Well, no, you can't. I was going to say, there are luxury goods being sold e-commerce. I was thinking I think of everything as e-commerce because, for example, even one of my large consulting HP. Let's say I was selling security services for HP. I'm going to do it all electronically, digitally. The transaction's not going to occur online by pressing a cart button.
Right, but it's still e-commerce.
Everything's going to all be everything's going to be linking up to the point where it's handed over from the digital universe to a physical contact.
Right. So
and
that's
then it's
I guess you're right.
That's how I look at it.
I always think of it as very specific, but it's not.
Not me. It's
really
just a means to an end. It's just a channel.
What advice or encouragement do you have for somebody older who's considering starting a business? A lot of people said, the only thing I regret is I didn't start early enough.
I think you shouldn't. I think that unless you are absolutely driven to do it, it's like art, right? If you're an artist, right?
Yeah.
If you're not an artist, if you like to paint, you should paint, right? But if you must paint 24 hours a day and every second that you can possibly get, you want to go paint, you can go ahead and try to be an artist. And that's how entrepreneurialism is as well. If you're not prepared to not have very much of a personal life, spend all of your time solving these sorts of problems and be completely consumed by it for a long time, like years and years and years, like 5-10 years minimum probably, and you're not willing to suffer a lot of financial hardship because it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're gonna lose a bunch of money. Yes, it does matter how much money. If you're well funded, then you can try whatever the hell you want and all these things go out the window, have fun. But if you're actually doing it to make money, then you're going to lose a bunch of money and it's going to be really painful, and people with money who are going to give it to you aren't going to give it to you for you. They're going to give it to you for your business, right? So you're not going to have a lot of money. So I make a lot less money because I have to spend my time on Anaby rather than selling it to people who pay me a lot of money for it.
So...
But I have the fire in the belly. I want to do this.
You have to have the fire.
Yeah, and the fire in the belly is, everybody has a different fire in the belly. Mine is I like to build things, and I really, really enjoy being able to affect the entire food chain. But that doesn't mean I don't want other people managing the parts of the food chain. I just want to be able to get my 2 cents in there and make sure that it makes sense. We marketers know that our marketing knowledge could be applied to product development and we'd be able to sell more. Lots of companies silo you and don't let you do that. So for me, it's exciting to be able to to be talking to the customer, hearing what they have to say, interpreting it, and seeing it. It was my customers created this, right? But it was a long path, and I had to make a gazillion choices in order to get to this point. So. And
also choices that you had no idea you were going to have to make.
Yeah, it's like remodeling a home. Oh my God, now you got to do the